Hello, we are here with another true crime episode, and we are going to be talking today about a missing woman from Greensboro, North Carolina, and her name is Marissa Carmichael. So we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to play the 911 call, and then we'll give you the details. And, you know, you just never know who saw or heard something. So we're going to start doing some more of these. All right. Let's start with this 911 call.
Thank you for Metro 911. What's the address of your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I needed the contact to the non-emergency number.
It comes into the same center. I can try to help you while I have you on the phone, and I can give you the
Okay, yes. I don't know where I am in Greensboro. I just got all my stuff throughout the car. He took off with my phone. I have no clue where I'm at. I have no numbers, nothing.
Are you at a business?
I am at a store, yes. I'm at a Synergy.
Are you at an Exxon?
Is this an Exxon?
801 East Market?
Okay, it's an Exxon, yes.
Okay, what's your name? Are you hurt and needing an ambulance?
No, I'm not, but I mean, like, he told me to come into the store and grab some shit and, like, took off on me, and I don't know where I'm at. I'm in the middle of Greensboro. He took my phone. I don't have my phone. Yes, back to my house.
All right, what are you wearing so officers can identify you
No,
when
he
they
took
get
my
there?
shit. You said what?
What are you wearing so officers can identify you when they get there?
I'm wearing some blue jeans and a white shirt with some yellow sneakers. That's not gonna help my problem though, ma'am. I'm stuck all the way in Greensboro and I don't know where I'm at.
Okay, you just told me you're at an Exxon.
Yes, but in order for me to get back home, I don't have any of my contacts.
Okay, I'm gonna send an officer out there to see if they can help you in any way.
Okay.
All right, they'll be there as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, so that's 25-year-old Marissa K. Carmichael. That was the 911 call, and her calling from an Exxon gas station in Greensboro, North Carolina. This was on January 14th, 2024. It was early morning. And then minutes later, and by minutes, I mean 39. We'll get into that. Minutes later, police would be dispatched. And then when the officer arrived, Marissa was gone and she has not been seen since.
A young mom of five children, a tight knit family, a night out at a lounge, then an after party, a 911 call, and a timeline that leaves everyone with painful questions. Today, we lay out what's known and only what's known, verified from reporting official statements. That's ABC News.
Okay, so what you're going to hear is a timeline and the events, and those all came from national and local news outlets or from the official Greensboro Police Department posts. I mean, a little bit of this will be opinion, but most of this is factual from news reports.
Marissa K. Carmichael was 25 at the time she vanished. She would be 26 now. She lived with her family in High Point, North Carolina, was widely described as loving, funny, and devoted to her kids.
All right, so this sequence begins again on the night of Saturday, January 13th, 2024. And according to the police and local coverage, Marissa went to the 117 Sofa Bar and Lounge in Greensboro. And then afterward, she went to an Airbnb nearby.
After the after party, she was dropped off at an Exxon gas station on East Market Street, the address most consistently cited by police on national media as 809 East Market Street. From there, that's when she called 911.
And then the timestamp, so we'll get a little deeper into this. At 3:40 a.m., that's when Marissa called the Metro 911 from the Exxon. And then at 4:19 a.m., the police were dispatched. That was 39 minutes later. Let me repeat that. That was 39 minutes later that police were dispatched. And
That's a
then it's
long time.
terrible. Yeah. And then at 4:21, so that gap was only a couple of minutes, an officer arrived, but she was no longer there. And these again were, from the police records. So these are exact timelines.
Yeah, the Greensboro Police Department later surveillance showed Marissa getting into a vehicle and leaving. Investigators identified and interviewed the driver and publicly characterized the person as a witness.
Yep. And then after that, we don't know, the trail goes cold. In February 2024, so about a month into the case, the police said that they were increasingly concerned about her welfare and they asked the public for any tips.
By the 1 year mark in 2025, local and national coverage emphasized that there were still limited leads. The case remained active, and the family and community were still searching.
All right, so let's unpack that night and what's been reported. So the 117 Sofa Bar and Lounge, that venue appears repeatedly. So that's a fact in the timeline and the coverage. And then after that, she went to that Airbnb after party. And then she was seen at the Exxon on East Market.
The 911 call is central. ABC News obtained the audio in it. Marissa sounds distressed and states that she doesn't know where she's at in Greensboro, that he took her phone and she doesn't have numbers to call to get a ride. She describes her clothes as blue jeans, a white t-shirt, and yellow sneakers, details that were repeated in police descriptions.
And for context, police specified 3:46 as the last seen time, and that came from the Exxon property. And then just before that was when the 911 call came in.
The response time is one of the most questioned aspects. The local newsroom reported on why there was roughly a 39-minute gap before police were even dispatched. An explanation tied to officer availability and reiterated the arrival time at 4:21 a.m. and dispatch at 4:19 a.m.
I know, but on a side personal note, it wasn't police availability, right? Because the dispatcher, that's what
Didn't even
took
call it in.
40
Yeah.
minutes. Exactly. So that part to me is confusing and not great. Anyways,
No.
just my personal opinion. Okay, so when officers arrived and they didn't find Marissa, they later recovered surveillance footage indicating that she left with someone who has since been interviewed, and they were labeled a witness, not a suspect. And that was out in public statements, so that's factual.
From the beginning, the Greensboro Police Department said that they were actively working the case. They were posting flyers and asking for tips through Crime Stoppers. Public post and local coverage said again that tips were limited and that the detectives were conducted interviews and searching local connections to the case.
And then Marissa's family, especially her mom, Sarah Carmichael, she's spoken several times, done interviews, and she describes the last year, understandably, as unbearable. And she has frequently pleaded for people to come forward with any information they might have. And in a 2025 national piece, it marked the 1 year of her disappearance. Sarah described living in a constant state of anxiety and hoping that one day they'll get those answers.
Yeah, the local stations have documented community organized searches. They've done flyers, water searches, and seasonal canvassing. Family and friends kept pressure on the case and refused to let the story fade. They wanted it solved.
Yeah. And then again, October 24, which was 9 months after she went missing, they reiterated again. They did everything. They went through the same sequence, the timings, and they said again that the person that they interviewed has only been classified as a witness, not a suspect. So I think That just seems to stand out to people, so I think that's why they keep repeating that that person is only a witness.
One year, January 2025, both local and national outlets recapped the timeline and emphasized that the case is still active, urging the local to call 336-373-1000 for Crime Stoppers.
All right, so let's go over some things that are confirmed versus things that are not. So these are confirmed. This night out took place at 117 Sofa Bar and Lounge and then an Airbnb nearby afterwards. The Exxon location on Market Street, 911 call around 3:40 a.m. and that address was East Market Street in Greensboro, North Carolina. Dispatch was at 4:19 a.m. Police arrival 2 minutes later, 4:21 a.m., and the officer did not find Marissa at the scene. And then surveillance shows that Marissa left in a vehicle. The driver was later interviewed and classified a witness and not a suspect. The case is still active, still open, and the police continue to ask for any tips that people might have.
Now, what's not been publicly confirmed, that's any suspects' names, an official determination of foul play, any official account that fully bridges the gap between the 911 call and the moment that she left the gas station with that witness. We have to stick to what the police have vetted and reported and have actually said because that's all that's really known at this time.
Yeah, and the 911 call is heartbreaking. So, Marissa identifies that someone drove off with her phone. She doesn't know any phone numbers and she's trying to figure out how to get home.
Yeah, because times have changed so much. I remember I knew everybody's number when I first started getting my cell phone. Now I don't. Yeah,
Same.
that's crazy. Now we're gonna go to the dispatch timeline at 3:40, the call, at 4:19 dispatch, 4:21 the arrival time. Now that has prompted community questioning and reporting, and they did follow up explaining the gap. Police and county leaders addressed why it took almost 40 minutes to send officers. No matter the reasoning, the effect is it's still the same. When police arrived, she wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, and there's also the question of how did she make this phone call? It's not really clear. Did she use a payphone? Did she use the phone inside the Exxon? Did she borrow someone's phone? I don't know. The police haven't really said publicly confirming how she made that call.
Yeah, because you would think they knew.
You would think.
Yeah, you would think. But the police, they described brought Marissa as a biracial female, 5'4" and approximately 260 pounds, with long black and blonde braids, a heart tattoo on her face, and a butterfly tattoo near her eye. Multiple outlets also repeated the clothing, the 911 description: white t shirt, blue jeans, and her yellow sneakers.
And then in January 2025, at the 1 year mark, Sarah Carmichael, her mom, she talked about how worried she is, the insomnia, the panic, and just the ache of all this waiting. And it's a window into how this affects families for months or years in this case now. And I can't imagine just not knowing where your loved one is.
Oh, my heart breaks for anyone going through that because I can't put myself in that situation. Yeah, it's very, very sad. But local stories through 2024 and 2025 show poster campaigns, search days, social pages, and groups devoted to updates, coverage notes, limited leads, the addition of new detectives taking a fresh look. Now, repeated calls for anonymous tips through Crime Stoppers.
Okay, so I don't know, let's just go through some theories of what could have happened. So, voluntary, maybe she just decided to leave by choice. However, that does feel inconsistent with the reports, listening to the 911 call and the lack of the phone. And she hasn't posted anything or been active on any of her social medias. So The police also keep stating their increasing concern. So that seems unlikely. This could have been a stranger. So, there's the surveillance of her leaving with someone, but I mean, they haven't made that public, any of their interviews or anything like that. However, again, they are only classified as a witness. So it could have been a stranger. And there's people that So in adult disappearances, the statistics show that it's very common that someone that has harmed you or kidnapped you or murdered you. But again, there haven't been any charge announcements. There's no suspect that's been named. There's no public evidence or anything that would lead us to believe that it's someone that she knows. And then it could have been an accident. So accidental death can't be ruled out, but there's no public recording of like remains or any belongings that they've found or forensics or anything like that. So I don't know. This just really seems like a mystery right now.
Yeah, I'm not buying. She just left all them babies at home.
Right.
She wasn't going to leave them babies.
No.
But yeah, what I latch on to, because if the last confirmed moment is the 911 call and the fact that she's suddenly phoneless, if you can't call anyone, you're stranded, you accept a ride and might not otherwise take. The split second situation, especially at 3:40 a.m., and could decide anything and everything.
Right. And then again, that response gap of dispatch. And I know people don't want to blame anyone, but how can you not? That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, that was yeah, I don't know. What we don't have is the public statement from the police that they suspect a homicide, trafficking, voluntary departure. We keep the facts front and center and the appeal front and center. Somebody in Greensboro knows they know something.
Yeah. Let's just do one more little timeline. I know we've gone over it once, but let's just for facts and trying to jog maybe anyone's memory that was in the area. So Saturday, January 13th, 2024, so it's been a little more than a year and a half. Marissa went to 117 Sofa Bar and Lounge in Greensboro. Then she went to an after party nearby at an Airbnb. And then that evening, which would be considered Sunday, January 14th, 2024, around 3:40 a.m., the Exxon, the address is 809 East Market Street in Greensboro. That's where she called 911 and said that she didn't have a phone and she didn't know numbers of her contacts. 419, police were dispatched. 421, an officer arrives and Marissa is gone. And then surveillance from the Exxon shows that she left in a vehicle. Then fast forward to February, which was approximately a month later, the police start saying that they're increasingly concerned and asking people for tips. And they note that that driver of that car is just a witness. And then a few months later, family and friends jump in. That's when they're doing the flyers, they're doing searches and things like that. And, there's just not really any leads, unfortunately. And then in January 25, which was the 1 year mark, the police reiterate that the case is still active and the family is out pleading for any information and asking for tips.
Yeah, bless them. It's easy to reduce a case to timestamps and intersections, but coverage consistently emphasizes the people. There's 5 children who've missed birthdays with their mama, a mother who describes waking each day into the same nightmare, and there's a community that hasn't stopped papering through corners and calling around trying to find. They haven't stopped.
Yeah. Careful attention matters. Getting details right is everything. It can like shake loose a memory, which is why we're trying to do this. the name of the lounge, the yellow sneakers, I feel like scream something, the exact Exxon location on East Market, the ride that she was in leaving Exxon, like all of that stuff matters.
Yeah, and if you know anything about the disappearance of Marissa K. Carmichael, please contact Greensboro Guilford Crime Stoppers at 336-373-1000. Tips can be anonymous. Police and local outlets have amplified this number across multiple updates.
Yeah, and you can share official missing persons posters and posts and things like that from the Greensboro Police Department and the local newsrooms. So I keep coming back to that. I don't have my phone. I have no numbers,
Mhm.
right? I don't know. It doesn't tell us what happened, but it does tell us that she was trying to reach out and was trying to get help and was trying to get home.
Yeah, she wanted to go home. And her family's ask has been simple for more than a year: bring Marissa home or bring answers. If you were on East Market Street that night, if you were at 117 at that after party or at the Exxon, if you heard a detail secondhand, call it in. Even the smallest fact can connect dots. It can maybe possibly bring this family her back, some answers, some closure, happiness, hopefully. Was hopefully get her back.
And let's just go over the basics one last time. So Marissa K. Carmichael, she's 5'4", approximately 260, black and blonde braids, which could have changed, but that's what she had last seen. She has a heart tattoo on her face and a butterfly near her eye. She was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans, yellow sneakers. Last confirmed location, Exxon 809 East Market Street in Greensboro. And this was January 14th, 2024 at approximately 3 to 4 a.m. So if you know anything, again, that number 336-373-1000. So any closing? I mean, I know we want to cover more of these missing persons stories, just trying to help out and do what we can.
Yeah, because somebody could have been traveling back home or on vacation anywhere. They might have passed and, oh, yeah, I seen a girl out there with yellow sneakers, because that yellow sneakers is going to catch your eye. And maybe they remember that. You don't know. Just any time you talk about Marissa, you talk about anyone that's missing, it brings them to light and may jog memories.
Right. And there are so many missing cases out there. So we have plenty to work with, unfortunately. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll keep doing these in hopes of getting the word out there for people and their families.
There's many names that need to be brought to light.
Yeah, agree. And we're going to highlight marginalized groups, women, that type of thing. So you'll see more of that in our podcasts. So yeah, we will see you all in 2 weeks, and we may be doing another one of these before we start up another series. We have to decide.
Our lives are wild right now.
Wild. Yeah. So this may be a twofer, two in a row.
I'm not complaining.
No, we want to do this anyways. So no complaints here for sure. All right. Well, we'll meet back here in 2 weeks. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And if you know anything, 336-373-1000. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.